And welcome back to The Rock, the SABC's election coverage, and it is starting to build up here in terms of the number of people coming through. The parties naturally anxious to see how they performed in yesterday's election. But of course, just to give you a rundown, Leanne mentioned those numbers, and just looking at what the national picture tells us right now, and we're going to go into the raw numbers. ANC at 55.07%, 25.96% for the DA, EFF at 8.28%. Those are the three leading parties with 26.22% of the voting districts counted, and that's just over a quarter of the total tally. But looking at the parties themselves and the numbers, and you see there the ANC, 1,790,832, the percentage support with that in mind, that this is only 26.2% of the voting districts completed. They are polling at 55% at this time. The DA 25.96%, the EFF at 8.28%, Freedom Front Plus 3.21%, IFP 1.59% of the vote, ACDP 1.08%, Good is at 0.75%, UDM 0.48%, ATM 0.44%, and COPE 0.38%. And of course, we can go down further just to take a look at how some of the other parties are faring as well. Professor, your summation of what we've seen thus far.
Here we are seeing the same trend, but with an incremental drop on the ANC side, which has been there since 2009. And the DA, we are beginning to see DA stabilizing and not growing as dramatic as it was doing. So they may start doing the soul searching as to what must we do next. EFF is still growing, but I'm sure some disappointment on their part because they are not growing as dramatically as their campaign had suggested, as the intensity. They might be then asking, are we able to energize constituency that we have, especially the young people, to come out and vote? And also the issue generally with the smaller parties, some of them are disappearing. Some are holding on to one or two seats, as we can project. The utility of having so many parties is beginning to come up to show, because some of them see their space during local government elections, where with one seat you could end up being a mayor, you could end up being a deciding vote. But in the national and provincial elections, something substantial has to happen.
And just a final word on the Freedom Front Plus and their ascendancy, as we can see thus far. What does this do for them? What do they do with the support that they have gained?
Well, I do think that it will give them a chance to be the voice, particularly of the Afrikaners, on the issues of land, on the issues of language and so forth. They are energized now because they felt the pressure of the debate that was taking place, and they are the ones who were feeling the existential crisis. I'm sure they mobilized around this particular issue, and that has given them dividends. And DA might be thinking, how do I hold on to the different constituencies like the white Afrikaners, the English speakers, the colored voters, the Indian voters, as well as expand, among the black voters. When you're bringing in one section, the other one simply pulls off and go to their traditional base.
Well, that unfortunately is where we're going to have to leave it this morning. And SABC continues with this rolling election coverage, 24 hours, wall to wall. So do stay with us. And of course, you can go onto our platforms online as well. Social media, we are there too. So do follow us. But for us, from me here at The Rock, it's goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in.